Thank you so much for everyone joining this webinar today. My name is Joe Bushnell. I'm obviously from enable.services, and today is my colleague, Noel. Do you want to introduce yourself
Hi, I'm Nord.
or not?
I'm a, s- sorry, I
But
think
you
there was a
can,
bit of lag with Zoom.
yeah, it was lagged.
I'm Nord. I'm a solution consultant at Enable. I work alongside Joe when it comes to demo systems, everything like that.
Yeah, so today we're going to be going through Sugar Mobile. Sugar Mobile, we do these monthly webinars obviously every month, Sugar ones. So we concentrate on a different part every month. So if you know of something you want for us to concentrate on next month or the month after, please let us know. And Emily, who's our marketing person, who's on chat at the moment, would be keen to understand that. That brings us into chat. If you have any questions, please put them into chat. Emily will then call them out and we'll try and answer them as best we can during the actual session itself. So we'll try and do it live as much as we can. We will be showing the Sugar webinar, Sugar Mobile today. Sugar Mobile, what is it? So Sugar Mobile is a slimmed down version of your Sugar CRM system. It's available on SugarCell Advanced, Premier, and also Enterprise as part of the license costs. It is available on both iOS and Android devices, Apple and Android, and it also has that offline client. To be honest, with you, none of the other CRMs have, unless you're paying a quite a big premium for that kind of service. We're going to go through, like I said, for people who don't know who we are, we're enable.services. SugarCRM partner for about 20 years now. Based in Ipswich, we don't outsource anything. We do lots of integrations. I don't know what's going on my screen at the moment, but we have lots of ERP integrations, marketing integration, etc. with Enable Flow. If you want to know more about that, please get in contact. But let's crack on with Sugar Mobile. So, Nord, how would you explain Sugar Mobile to the audience? Go for it.
In my personal opinion, I find Sugar Mobile essentially a book of I forgot what the word, endless information, because it allows you to, again, to connect directly to your CRM system so you can pull that data live. But then again, even if you're in a place with no data or you run out of data or anything like that, you still have access to all of that information from when you last viewed it. So it's like it's not like you're lost about anything. You always have at least one way to get the information. And then again, once you regain connection, it syncs everything up, it updates everything, so you're always connected with your client base, any internal information, any internal collaboration, anything like that.
Yeah. So I'm in sales, so I use Sugar Mobile quite a lot, especially when I'm out on the road. So I dictate, so speech to text. You can do that inside of Mobile. I've already said about offline capabilities, so that's obviously there. One of the other things is images. You can take a photo, upload that directly into Sugar Mobile if you're out on site, for instance. Maybe you've got an issue, or you've got maybe you just want to put something against a account of a photo of the customer. You can do that directly in Sugar Mobile. So it supports all of the kind of native kind of parts of either your Android or Apple device. So it really enhances productivity in my eyes, because obviously it allows those users to access the records, update the information, and also complete the task wherever they are. So it reduces delays, and then people in the office can see exactly what I've been doing or what task I need to maybe do after a meeting. So it kind of improves that customer engagement at that point, because again, that frontline staff can then view the history, preference, these previous interactions and everything in real time. Okay. Obviously, I said about data accuracy, data capture. Sugar Mobile doesn't do card scanning kind of thing. business card scanning, so I'll just put it out there. It does not do that. But there is another app that can do that, where you can download off the App Store or Android App Store as well, what allows you to do that if you want to do that. But it does do absolutely everything else, and that's what we're going to go through today. So we're going to show you that in Access. So I'm going to try and do this correctly. So bear with me while I just share the right device, and hopefully you can see my Sugar Mobile. Is that correct, Nord?
Yeah, we can see your not Sugar Mobile, we can see your phone screen.
Perfect. That's exactly where I wanted to be. So it's always worrying when you're sharing your phone screen, isn't it? So you see in the top left, we've got an icon for Sugar CRM. And because it is an app that you can, like I said, download. If we access that Sugar app, you'll see that in my case, it's decided to log me out because it loves being good like this. So bear with me just to hopefully that I saved the password correctly. There we go. Cool. Right. Okay. Different. Okay. North just looking at me going, what? Okay.
Uh, always happens on a webinar with us. Something always.
Yeah, this is different. This is different. Okay, that's better. Cool. Allow access. Okay. This is the problem about doing things live. And you can see that we're live at this point because of what is just done there. Okay. So when we come into the Sugar CRM mobile app, straight away you can cut and set what your default view is. In my case, when I come into the Sugar mobile app, I'm coming into a global search. So I'm looking at all of my searches that I've previously done here, and I've selected that in my preferences. What we can do is pick maybe a dashboard or any of these blue bits at the top. You can pick what your default is when you log into the app yourself, and you can pick what those are, okay? But in my case, if I wanted to, I'm logging as Jim. You'll see on the left-hand side that I have all of my modules that I have in my system. The Sugar mobile app supports custom modules as well as default modules and also custom fields. What else does it also support, Nord? So while we're here,
It mainly supports obviously all field types that you have in the desktop version. So if you have any calculated fields, required fields, anything like that, it's identically like a one-on-one copy of desktop, just lacking some minor features, obviously just due to lack of like JavaScript and everything. And also just the restricted screen size. But I would say it can pretty much do everything that the desktop can, like DocuSign, doc merge, uh, emailing, call logging, a lot of stuff like that.
yeah. You'll see when we go into the mobile in a moment, it's a single column, unlike the double column, the two column where you are on the Sugar. So what I would say about the Sugar Mobile is you do not want War and Peace. One thing I don't want to be seeing when I'm out on the road or using the mobile app is every single field in the actual system to only show when you're setting up the Sugar Mobile, only show the fields that need to be shown. What we'll be going through as well is that Sugar Mobile has a detail and edit view. Detail view is for if you had an integration in place, such as an ERP, Epicor, Business Central, SAP, or something like this. If you had those kind of components, you may only want them to be in detail view so the users can't edit that information. That's why there's a detail and edit view, is that you have that functionality there. Right, okay, let's crack on. So if I go into one of these views, we're going into directors view. So I've just clicked on directors at the top there and it's come up. What it's actually done there is it's given me all of the reports that I had on my normal Sugar homepage. So when in a minute, when we'll come through the Sugar mobile app, Noel's going to be showing his dashboard and we're going to show exactly the same dashboards. But what you'll see is that if I go in one of these reports, what we're going to see is those reports are exactly the same as what they are on mobile in the desktop view, that we can simply go through them. Bottom right down here, you'll see a little arrow, what means that I can scroll through my reports from my normal dashboard. And you can see that it's very easy, quite responsive. And like I said, this is online and offline. So if you're offline, it's going to take down that data as a snapshot and show you that information. It also gives you a functionality. If I wanted to know what was in maybe direct mail there with the 8, Click on it, it opens up the data. So it's exactly the same as the Sugar desktop. Like on the reports, on the dashboards, you can still interact with them, and within 2 clicks, get down to a field level. So it's really powerful in that aspect. And if we go back, you'll see that I can just go back to the report, click on Barbara, and then top left, there's a back button where I can go back to my report. Well, what we can also do with these reports, you'll see that we've got this kind of little cube, is it, with dots in north, and then we've got the filter kind of view as well. The cube with the dots is our kind of our detailed view of that kind of that report we're looking at. And this is again is mimicking the desktop versions or whatever you've got in there. And the filters are your runtime filters on any reports that you set up, and we can kind of mimic them exactly the same and work on them exactly the same as we can on the desktop version. So it's extremely powerful on what we can do here, and obviously take it on to whatever dashboard we want. You'll see on this user, we've got multiple dashboards, so we can see rep, management, workflows, actions, calendar as well, and global search. I've also already gone through global search, but calendar is simply a mimic of your sugar calendar. And in the top here, you'll see a little calendar icon. If I click on it, it takes me in kind of a day filter where it'll be mimicking whatever we've got on the sugar system. If you're using Sugar Connect, it's going to sync all that up, isn't it, Nord?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
it'll sync up all,
that's in sync.
yeah, yeah. Um, Here also, click on the plus sign, add call, add meeting, add task. I would never tell people to do it here because if you're making a call or a meeting or creating a task, you should be doing it against a record. So if I'm making a call to someone, I need to be viewing Nord as a contact and then creating a call from there because it'll automatically relate it to that Nord, that record. Or if I'm creating a task against opportunity, again, it's automatically relating it. But you can do it here if you wanted to, okay? Top right here is a calendar, and there's a cog in the top right up there. You'll see where I can set up some preferences. Maybe I want to look at other users' calendars. I can do so here. Also, choose what the day of the week I'll start. Maybe I start on Sunday if I'm in Middle East, or obviously Monday if it's ourselves, and you can set them up quite easy. It's extremely easy just to set up, and you can see how responsive this mobile app is. Okay. Anything you want to add around here, Nord?
No, I think you kind of nailed it. The only thing I would add is uh obviously the module on the left hand side, how it's all listed and organized is a different section from it is on the desktop version, because it keeps those two views kind of separate, obviously because of the two different column styles. So in admin, which I will show in part of the webinar, there's a section in admin where you can modify what modules you have access to a mobile and how they view and everything.
Yeah, one thing about this is security. Good point there, Nord. So what about security? Does it take roles, teams, and all that?
It reflects the same as desktop. So again, if you're in certain roles and teams for your user, those will sync across into your mobile app. So you wouldn't need to create any other additional permissions or roles for the mobile app. Everything reflects the same as it is on the desktop, the main site.
What about Active Directory and things like this?
Like single sign-on.
Yeah.
So again, with single sign-on, once you go in to put in your URL for the mobile app, it should then prompt you for your Sugar login, which would then either, if you have the option to use credentials still, you can still use credentials. If not, it should then prompt you for your SSO, which could be either Google, Entra, which is Microsoft, or any other third-party SSO app.
Okay. So it literally does support everything what we've got on the desktop version.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so down the left-hand side, like I said, we're showing quite a lot of modules here. I wouldn't recommend this if you're setting up a mobile app. I would only show certain ones, maybe for certain users, for instance. If you're on maybe admin, you may want contracts, etc. Well, opportunity to quote. If you're sales, leads, etc. And you could also pick and choose what they are on the user preferences again. If we go into leads, you'll see that what the filters here, Mimic is what's on our desktop. Again, whatever the user's desktop are, it's going to have the filters in the same aspect. And you can see we've got a list of filters on this demo system. What we can also do is filter by certain criteria. And you can see here, sorting by certain criteria, sorry, if I can pronounce my words. And then we also have that cog at the end where we can kind of view a list builder if we wanted to, pull in certain information or view that information how we want to on the field side. If we just click on to some of these, maybe if we go into one of these other ones, lead source code call, there we go. You'll see that we have a list of all of the actual records coming in. You can pick and choose what you actually see here and what information you see in this kind of list view. And this, well, how does this will this work? This from this list view, how do we do this bit? Nod.
Say again. I'm sorry.
The
The
list
fish
view
kind of threw me off.
no, you're okay. The list view here, when we're seeing kind of Christina Snyder, email address, telephone number, project manager, how do we change that information?
So again, all of that stuff happens in Studio on the desktop version. If you go through admin in the Studio, if you've customized your sugar before, it's the same kind of process you go through there. But when you go to layouts, there's a section called mobile layouts, where you're able to edit the list view, which Joe is currently showing. You're also able to edit the detail view. So if Joe went into a record, you can also customize how that view works in there, but you can also customize the edit view as well. So this is the detail view. And then if Joe was able to click those three dots, click edit for me, this is the edit view. So you're able to customize and show different fields in different views. So let's say again, like Joe said for ERP, you may have ERP information on that detail view that might be vital for your end users. But if they go to edit the record, they might not need to touch that ERP data. So you can actually remove those ERP fields out from the edit view so they can't touch them and mess anything up.
And we'll stop doing that. Always happens when we're live, see? How much I want to put do not disturb on it still comes from what causes
Um,
issues.
But yeah, that's how you would customize the sugar different views on mobile.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Um, completely put me off by my son trying to phone me. Well, always the way, isn't it? So if we go back and we're going back to lead source and we go to maybe Jim's cold calls, we're seeing a person record called Angela. Because Angela is not converted, we've got this symbol right at the end here, was kind of a pointing an arrow to the right hand side. That is our convert button in the lead section. Okay, and that's how this works. Across here, though, we'll just keep them going. We've got call. If we click on call, it will then look at any of the telephone records in the record that we've got here. And if we call one of these, you'll see that it comes up with a call symbol. And if we click on call, you'll see that we have caller identification turned on in this case. It brought up Angela Armstrong at that point. So if Angela was to phoning and we sync the contacts with Sugar, yes, it will say that Angela is phoning in inside your mobile, even if your Angela is not in your normal call directory, if that makes sense. So we have caller IDs for Sugar as well as a function if you wanted to turn it on or off. Okay. Because I've just made that call to Angela, you'll see that says, would you like to log your last call? So it has that call login afterwards and saying, do I want to make that call? If I say yes, it takes the information, call with Angela, so it automatically inserts the subject for that user, automatically puts it outbound and held, automatically puts the time of when I was on a call. And you'll see that I've got description down here. And if I click on description, what I can do if I want, the bottom right, you'll see the little mic. So I could just free type if I wanted to, but this is what I use quite a lot when I'm dictating from meetings. Had a great call with Angela and she would like to follow up on the proposal. And I can press done, I can save that record and go on to the next one. And I could then, if I wanted to at the same time, go back to the lead Angela, go to related. Over here, you'll see timeline, smart guides, related, and then dashboards. If I go related, I may want to create a task for one of my colleagues to send proposal. And I can type if I wanted to, if I could spell. And I could assign that to one of my other colleagues, not Jim, maybe Melissa, and give it a start date of when I want that to happen and when I want that to be due by, and press save. So in that case, I've made that phone call to Angela, I've logged that phone call, I've then came back in, created a task for Melissa to send that proposal out, and at that point, I'm going to want to convert. So at the top here, top right, like I said, click on it, it takes us through a conversion screen. So you'll see creating a new contact for Angela, design engineer, and I can go bottom right, account, next. Who does she work for? Power supplies, yes, tick. I could have searched for an existing account or creating a new account, but in this case, it did a full dedupe and found that power supplies were already in the system. So let's not dirty the data. And you, again, bottom left, opportunity, great. What am I going to sell her? Is it an existing proposal? Maybe actually I've gone to see Angela and one of my colleagues has already spoken to her, or one of the other team departments are speaking to her. I can have a look at what's already out there, or again at the bottom you'll see create opportunity, and I can click create opportunity. This one's new, and we're selling Angela Sugar CRM in this case. I can obviously put all the details in, the account, the likelihood of how much it is, and everything else, and press save. And that gives me the ability then to convert Angela from a simple a lead into an account, contact, and opportunity at that point. Okay. You'll see that here, all the modules, like I said, are all done. So you can see that I've got all leads, and I see all leads in the system, or all what I'm available to see. I can also go in accounts and see all accounts, but all my filters are there as well. So customers not contacted in 30 days. If you're using enable.services last activity sync, that's really good for that. So I'd recommend it, download it. It's on Sugar Marketplace. If it's not, or you're having problems, speak to us again. It's free to download. But if I just got all accounts, you'll see I've got try save media. And again, we can see all the information. We can also see comment log in the middle here. So if I was having a comment log and people are giving me the difference between comment log and activity log is comment log is, how would you explain this, Nod? Comment log is fixed, permanent. What would you say? That's what it is,
I
isn't
would
it?
say common log is a fixed collaboration field for a certain record where it will keep all of the chronological touch points that any user can type in about that account.
Yeah, people can't change comment log. That's the difference. They could go into a call and edit it. Once it's in comment log, it kind of timestamps it and everything else. That's the beauty about comment log. And the comment log is supported by mobile app. So you can see add a comment down there. So I could use comment log, was quite cool. And this goes down to what is supported with mobile app. Absolutely everything's supported by mobile app. And you can see that here. Across the top here, we've got call, email. So if I've got email, you can see that I can set up and send an email to that person. Again, maps. If I want to go and have a look where this person is in the world, I could just go and click on maps and see that information very quickly. And let's back up. Texas. So I could send a SMS if I wanted to. Or the last one is website, and I can go and see the website if it existed. And this is demo data, so it doesn't. So we'll come back. Across here, details, timeline. It's a normal timeline looking at any calls, meetings, tasks, anything associated to any contacts or the account or anything else pulled up to the related account. Smart guides are smart guides. If you have smart guides, it's an additional plugin of Sugars, but it does support smart guides. And then we have every related record in the system. And the last one is dashboards. So dashboards is your, again, account timeline, but also maybe opportunity metrics, maybe case metrics, etc. You can see them all in the actual time in that dashboard. So dashboard, when we're inside a record, is relating to that record. It's the right-hand side of your Sugar. It's the intelligence pane, isn't it called, Nort?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by dashboard when we're in the mobile app. If we go to related, you can see every single related record here. If we go to contacts, It's going to relate the contacts, and we can, within 2 clicks, we can get to Sandra. And again, all the same functionalities here. You notice one at the end, what's a little download button that we can download PDFs, etc. That's what that little arrow going down is. And you'll notice on every single record a little star in the top right where you can favorite a record, just like you can do on the desktop version. Okay. When we're looking at any record inside Sugar on a mobile app, the three dots at the top gives you kind of this functionality of edit, what Nord was talking about earlier. Do you want to go through these, Nord, quickly? Just want to have a simple
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. So again, if you've used Sugar before on the desktop version, you know that usually in that blue button area in the top right, there's a down arrow, which I like to call the action menu. So the three dots in that mobile app is essentially that action menu where you have quick access to, edit, copy, or share the record. Doc merge allows you again to, if you've watched our previous webinars about doc merge, it allows you to pull information out from a record and allow the system to make a pretty document with all your brand guidelines, everything like that, to whatever you've designed in Word, PowerPoint, or Excel, and then produce that document for you on the fly where you can download it and then share it externally if you need to. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but I'm pretty sure geocode allows you to pinpoint on the map where the customer is.
Yeah, it's kind of that that ability of going like this. Is it going to allow me to? Yeah, exactly. So it also it's losing the postcode, but sometimes your postcode is not exactly right. So you can kind of do a longitude, latitude, and you geocode you on that aspect. Maybe you're doing logistics, for instance, and sometimes the locations, the delivery addresses are not always exact. So you can kind of play with that, make sure you get it exact. So next time you go there, your maps are going to the right directions. Okay. So that's kind of what that is. Some of the functions that we have on the mobile app, yes, we can go into each of these things. One, I do want to go into quotes. When we go into quotes, we spoke about doc merge about 2 seconds ago, nor did. So we can do doc merge to Word, Excel, PDF, PowerPoint. There was a previous webinar on that, like Nord just said. But the beauty about this is that if we go related and we went to documents, this is one kind of we made earlier. But if we go into that related document, we can send to DocuSign. You need a DocuSign account to do this, so you need a DocuSign license. However, you can send that quote to DocuSign and do the full process through the mobile app. So you can send an e-signature proposal out to the customer using DocuSign, with obviously taking that document that you just prepared inside Sugar. And that document what you prepared in Sugar is not a hard thing to do. If I go back to the Sugar, the quotation, what I've got here with all the quoted line items of what I've selected. You can see down here, I've got loads of things, but one of them is obviously download invoice, download PDF, and also doc merge. And if I doc merge, it'll ask me how I doc merge, and it'll look at my document templates to utilize to send out to DocuSign. Okay, cool. Anything to add there, Nord?
No,
No,
you've
cool.
you've answered everything really.
Cool, cool, cool. On the quoted line items, just on these are all these are all editable. So if you wanted to, you could create related records and create whatever you want on here. It's very easy to kind of navigate and to pull the information that you want to actually edit at any one time. Any three dots means that you can edit the information. So I've just clicked on the three dots in the product 24-hour control room, click edit, and it'll take me into that record and allow me to edit both any line items in that kind of view. And you can see that I can then add another line item, put what product I want to sell. So maybe it's if it's recurring revenue, I'm going to click on 1 year, 6 months, and being that's now renewable, so it'll automatically create that opportunity for me in the future. Or if it's a one-off, I'm clicking on one-offs, and obviously I can put my discount. It works in the same as Sugar, where it's got ad group, comments, and everything else in the quotations. So it's really powerful in that aspect that I can just obviously utilize that information on the fly and be able to save it whilst out on the road. If I just quickly go on down to the bottom of the mobile app, because we could go on the menus for ages, but they're the same as Sugar essentially. but we've got some fundamental settings. Settings are obviously multiple languages inside the mobile app. Text size, just in case you need it for visual impairment. Appearance, we can have light and dark settings. So dark looks quite nice actually with a mobile app. And you can see here it's all dark and keep it going. Navigation, it supports any of your navigation that you have on your mobile. So I use Waze in the UK. So I would select Waze and it would obviously plot that person into Waze. And also that start screen, how do you want to actually, how do you, when you come into the mobile app, where do you want to go? If I'm using Leads all the time, I'm going to go to Leads. If I'm using cases, maybe on customer services, I may want to go to a specific module at the bottom there and actually say where I'm going to. Nord, can you just explain the bottom bits for me again?
Yeah. So enhanced security mode, essentially if anyone's used the banking app before on their phone, if you've ever gone to the multitask screen on your phone to either switch apps or close out the app, you notice that in the preview screen it kind of blacks out the app so you can't see the information once you leave it. That's what the enhanced security mode is on Sugar. Essentially, when you turn that on, if any part you leave the app, it blacks out the screen so no information could be obviously seen by anyone. That is just in case, obviously, any private information, it's your CRM system, for example, there's probably information you don't want other people to see. And then advanced logging is just advanced logging of the app. So again, if there's any issues or anything like that needs to be raised to support, advanced logging just provides extra additional logs for that support member to help identify any of the issues.
If I have enable offline capabilities on, does it download absolutely the entire Sugar database onto my mobile? How does that, what does that do? And then does it encrypt it, my lord? What
Yeah,
happens?
so when you do on off capabilities, when you set up the app, it will ask you if you want to download essentially it's a handful of data off the system. I'm pretty sure if it syncs up from your history, so any things that you've viewed in the past will download and store locally. And then it'll ask you if you want to obviously encrypt it with either Face ID or anything else like fingerprint recognition. So that data is encrypted obviously on device. So depending on your device encryption, anything like that, I can only speak for iPhones, because I only use an iPhone. But I know it's encrypted and stored locally on an iPhone device. I'm pretty sure the same for Android. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But again, all the data is secure and encrypted. But it does download that data for the offline capabilities, not the whole system, because obviously some people might have loads of data on their system, but it downloads just a handful of records, and then I think any recent records as well if you view them.
I think it's favorites as well. I think it's favorite
Yeah.
signed records or last assigned, etc. on that one. So yeah, it's really quite powerful on that kind of area. You'll see also we have notification settings. So you can set up notifications on a mobile. So if you want to receive your notification directly on a mobile device, you can do so. And it's just a case of prodding these or prodding them back. What we can also do down here is offline settings that Nor was talking about. Um, you'll see it's actually synchronization. It's synchronizing at the moment. So if I was offline or online, it's now syncing up. And if I was to go always offline here, it's going to obviously just take me into that kind of offline mode. The records and transaction logs obviously look at what you're actually downloading to the actual user themselves. So you can see if I was to download this, it's only giving me 20 accounts, 21 calls, because they're the ones that I've favorited or the ones that I've viewed at certain. It's not the entire Sugar database. And when it does send it over, it's all encrypted as well over REST at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think if you press the back button, Joe, it says in very small text on the records, data encryption is enabled, and there's no way to disable it, which is good.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Okay. Um, Also, transaction log is it'll keep an idea, keep a log of all the synchronizations that have happened over time, so you can actually keep track of what's actually syncing on the offline capabilities. Caller IDs, this is where you set up your caller ID enabled. Again, when you log in to start with, it does this for you and it asks you, do you want to set this up? So one of the things, but if you haven't set it up, you can go and do it here. And also, again, just click on that caller ID and it will sort itself out again. Desktop version, so if we're on an iPad, for instance, Sometimes you can just switch over from mobile view to iPad and desktop view. So you can just click on desktop version and it will spin it over to the desktop app when you need to. So this is very much the mobile app. Shall we have a look if we've got any questions so far? Emily?
We had some questions. One was from Stefan saying, the quality function seems to work for incoming calls. But I said we'll reach out to you, Stefan, internally. We'll get a help desk involved to help you get
Yep.
that caller ID function set up. And then we had another one from John saying, I can't see sales projects anywhere on the app. How do I can this be added? Again, in admin, there's a section called mobile where you can enable and disable modules, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to show that
Yeah.
any moment now, so you can see that and just know where that option is.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Okay, so you can see the mobile app is completely configurable, like we just said. It has absolutely everything on it. If I go into tasks, you'll see we've got the list views. You will see that we don't support Kanban on the mobile app, I don't think, as yet, unless I'm mistaken. Not, I don't think I am mistaken.
No, it's not supported yet.
Yeah, so it's mostly when we come in here, we're viewing it on a list view every time, unless it's on your dashboards, where, like I said, you can go into the reports and then go into the report that you want to see, and also push in and click on what you want to see, and then it'll drill up that information where you want to see it. Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to stop sharing. Nora's going to bring up a screen and we're going to view how this record looked in on the desktop version. So straight away, okay. So if we go into desktop and the dashboard just to start with, I just want to show. So and go into directors for me. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
So you'll see that when I was just showing you the reports, we were clicking through these reports, and these are the reports that we were clicking through. But in the mobile app, it also singles them out, and you press the next, next, next. But all of these reports were on that kind of that ability just to go and drill into, and whatever you have in here will then go into your mobile app. I think it supports mostly bar charts. Tree map, also the sales funnels. I think it does support that as well. I'm not sure about line charts yet. I'm not 100% sure on that. So we'll have to look into that if it doesn't. But it's really quite easy. Whatever you mimic here will be to your mobile app. Okay. Sorry, we're going to admin now.
No, no, you're good. You're good. So yeah, what I was saying before, to disable and enable certain modules, you need to go to admin, and then in this little system block, there is a section called mobile. So we click into mobile. It's very simple. We've got enabled modules and we've got disabled modules. And then also we have the offline settings here. So by default, I'm pretty sure offline is turned off. So you can turn that on to enable the offline capabilities. And then again, by default, mostly all core modules are in the available modules, and then any custom ones usually appear in the disabled section. So again, it's just a case of drag and drop. So here I can drag cases out, and because it's in disabled, but I can drag it back in. And then again, however your modules are laid out in this view is how the modules will lay out in the mobile app view. So accounts, contacts, and opportunities are always going to be the top three. If I log into mobile, and then so on and so forth going down. So if I wanted to change that, I can just reorganize this list and then just hit save.
So
And
what about if I don't have access to one of these modules, they just go out of the view then, do they?
yes, it acts like it's not there. So then the modules then just move back up. It won't just show a module if you don't have access to it.
Cool.
Perfect. And then the next bit is obviously the layout. So here I've just gone into Studio. And again, to get into Studio, you go to the admin section. And then in that system box, there's Studio. And then here, for example, if I go into accounts, we can then see that there was this new option called mobile layouts. Well, it's not new. It's probably never been clicked into
Yeah.
before, but you'll click into mobile layouts. And then here we get those three options, but we've got the edit view, the detail view, and the list view. So the edit view is when you go into a record and edit it. And we can see here again, it's got that one column type view to obviously match your phone screen resolution. And it's the same like normal studio. We can drag in a new row, and then we're able to drag in fields, and we can reorganize fields as well. And then if we're happy with that, we just click save and deploy. and then that pushes that straight to the mobile app. And then you'll get a message on the mobile app saying that some server settings have changed. It needs to reload. It then reloads. It should automatically log you back in. And then it should display all the new design changes you've done in Studio on that mobile app once they've relogged back in.
I've seen something there what I hadn't seen before, and that was panel. I've seen mobile must support tab view now, as it say.
Are we in here?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you can have different tabs. Yeah,
yeah.
but it only seems to do it for the whole thing because
Ah, right.
you
Okay,
can't
so
add a
it's
new panel like
right. Okay, so you can't add a group for a tab, so ignore that completely. Then. Yeah,
But
ignore
yeah,
that.
it's the same as you do on the normal studio. You get the history as well. So if you do and make any changes to your mobile layouts and it kind of messes up, you can always revert back, or you can click restore to default layout if you just want to clean refresh of that layout for that module.
You can also, it says layout determined by standard layout roles, etc. So if you had a salesperson, they may want to see different details against the account from a case person, customer service person or support person. So you can change the layouts on the mobile app depending on the person logging in.
Yeah, like you can on the desktop version. So again, all of that functionality that you get on the main website version of Sugar is in the mobile app. Obviously lacking just some features because obviously a mobile is less powerful and also less
Well, you
in
got screen size in this.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff is the exact same, like permissions, roles, security wise, layouts, studio, everything like that is basically the same.
Cool. Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So have we got any questions? I don't think we've got any questions. Anyone got any questions?
Give people a
No?
chance to
I
ask.
think I've given everyone time for questions. Okay, so thank you so much for your time today. Like I said, my name is Joe Bushnell. This is Nord from enable.services. If we can help, or if you want a demo or anything, or if you want advice on SugarCRM, please get in contact with your customer success person, and they'll be loving to help. If you need any assistance with any future training, please get in touch and we will continue our webinars. We do have an event, if you haven't signed up already, on the 4th of December in London. Please sign up. It's on the website if you'd like to come. Thank you so much for today. And yeah, good seeing you. Take care.
Bye, everyone.